Grab your cloth bag and pick up some veggies. Eating local on Wednesdays in Whistler just got easier today on the Express. On today's show,
We really wanted an opportunity for locals to be able to do more food shopping at the market.
Wednesdays just got tastier in the Upper Village. Then what do helicopters have to do with golf? Just look to this big sky.
It's incredible up here. It's pretty crazy. Just looking out over the golf course so high up and actually watching the ball just soar through the air. It's pretty amazing.
And join us for a treasure hunt. No pirates allowed.
It's a lot of fun. This is the first time I've experienced geocaching. In fact, up until last year, I didn't even know what it was.
Local gems abound today on the Express. Welcome to the Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And Whistler Farmers Market junkies can now get their fix both on Sundays and Wednesdays. There's no crafts, no arts. Wednesday nights are all about great eats here in the Upper Village. Now what about great golf? The sport flies sky high in Pemberton. There's a reason why they call this golf course Big Sky. No houses, no development. Golfers peacefully putter around the serenity of Big Sky Golf Course in Pemberton. Scenes of uninterrupted mountain views overlook the course, rated 4.5 stars by Golf Digest, and among the top 36 courses in Canada by Rolex ratings. But this Mona Lisa of the golf world plays outside the classic stuffy box, taking the sport of golf to edgier heights.
The 19th hole is usually known as the bar, so after the guys finish the 18th, they quickly head into the 19th and grab themselves a beer. This is a little bit of a different 19th hole. You don't have much service up here.
Blackcomb Aviation, along with golf pro Michael McNeil, take us on Big Sky's 19th hole tour, situated along the ridge of mighty Mount Currie.
We got up and we got to see all these crazy peaks and the peak of the mountain and stuff like that. It was just kind of breathtaking taking it all in.
We arrived at 8,000 feet, ready to take a swing at the longest drive of our life. So what green are you aiming for down here?
This one right down here on the left.
That is the golf course down there,
That is
correct?
the course, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to believe from up here.
Sky's the limit at this quirky course, where guests are greeted at the entranceway by a unique cast of characters.
There's a bunch of sculptures all the way through. Everything from lawnmowers to skis are being used to create all the sculptures that you see here.
This creative approach applies to the environmentally friendly design of the course as well. Situated on a floodplain, a berm fences in the entire location.
We're able to almost create like a mini environment here. We have lakes that over the years that have become full of fish. We have every type of bird you could think of. Last 3 years we had river otters starting to come onto the site.
Mount Currie is at the center of it all, even in the kitchen under the imagination of executive chef Ryan Leach.
One of our signature dishes right now is our brand new Mount Currie sundae. It has an actual chocolate wedge that looks exactly like Mount Currie in the background.
From icing sugar to snow, we teed off on the real deal. So what kind of balls are we using today?
These are biodegradable, environment-friendly golf balls. So we'll let them down there and they won't stay for too long. They will just kind of dissolve into nothing. Yeah, just take it back nice and slow.
Give it a knock.
Give it a good knock.
You'll grab me if I end
I'll
up going
take
over
care
the
of
edge
you if you
there.
go, absolutely.
Woo! The views stretch all the way down Pemberton Meadows. The next stop, Bella Coola. So even if you're a beginner golfer like me, with views like this, you know you're going to always score a hole-in-one on this trip.
It's incredible up here. It's pretty crazy. Just looking out over the golf course so high up, actually watching the ball just soar through the air. It's pretty amazing. pretty armsy swing up here because it's kind of on pins and needles. I can definitely feel the height, yeah. Yeah, I can't take the smile off my face here.
That was way too much fun. Smiles abounded, exactly what this big sky aims to do, bringing the joy of golf to every game, both in the air and on the ground. From Pemberton, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV. What an incredible adventure. You can book your tour with Blackcomb Aviation. The package includes your heli tour, a round of golf at Big Sky, as well as transportation to and from Whistler. Wednesday nights here at the Whistler Farmers Market is all about shopping local. It's get in and get out. Sundays are more of a party with more than 100 vendors on display. Next, are you up for a treasure hunt? No pirate map is required. This adventure is purely high-tech.
In the trees, amongst the tall grasses, floating on lakes and secured on mountain faces. These are the possible hiding places for treasure that can be found all over the Pemberton Valley this summer.
Let's start searching. I mean, these are the coordinates. It's a lot of fun. This is the first time I've experienced geocaching. In fact, up until last year, I didn't even know what it was. So it's a learning curve for me and the other members of the Tourism Pemberton Committee. But we've had a great time hiding them. Troy, why don't you switch on the GPS?
Geocaching involves finding hidden containers using a GPS device. Players log in online to get the coordinates and then head off on an adventure that could take them to places they've never been before.
Go on, Troy, lead the way. I just came out with some friends today and it was really good fun. I think as human beings as well, we're all, we almost have an inbuilt need to kind of go exploring and to find stuff. And I guess it's a really good way of doing that and spending time in the sunshine.
And that is what it's all about. It's the thrill of the hunt and the glory of the find. But what are these outdoor enthusiasts searching for, and what do they find inside?
A geocache can be anything, actually. This is an example of a micro geocache, which simply contains a small scroll of paper where people log their visit, or they can be a Tupperware box, or they can be a bin. So they range in size, and you hide trinkets or souvenirs, items for trade.
When you find the cache, the idea is that you take the trinket and exchange it for one of the same or higher value. Geocaching adds an exciting, exploratory element to a hike. It can be done by anyone, and it's easy to get involved.
All right, good job.
Geocachers go to www.geocaching.com, and that's where they find a geocache listing, and it's rated, and there's a whole list of attributes that tell people a little bit about it. Is it wheelchair accessible? Is it good for small children? Do you need a flashlight? All those sorts of details. So you'd want to go there first, find the coordinates, download them to your mobile phone or write them on a piece of paper, and off you go.
There are 7 geocaches stashed in the Pemberton area. Locals and visitors can find themselves on top of mountains or in the downtown urban jungle.
There's the last one that we just hid, the 7th one, is way up on the mountaintop, and it offers a spectacular view of the Pemberton Valley, and you just can't beat it. You wouldn't go there normally. The reason is the geocache.
This proves it's not only pirates that are on the search for treasure. Joining the hunt in the Pemberton Valley, this is Dee Raffo for Shaw TV.
Geocaching is an extremely popular pastime. There are more than 5 million geocachers worldwide. Today is all about local. The Whistler Farmers Market has a new weekday night. It's the perfect chance to do a little shopping after work.
A lot of locals are either working on Sundays, because that's when it's really busy, or they've taken off and they're heading off to the cottage. So it's really a chance for them to come in, get a little bit of local food.
There's always new things to find here at the Whistler Farmers Market, including on Wednesdays. What do we have here?
Hi, I'm Corey Klein from Whistler Woodfire Pizza Company. We bring in our flour from Italy. It's the high protein 00 Tipo Caputo flour. And we also use less than 5% oil in our dough.
Right now we're running around 20, basically everything from fresh produce, baked goods, fresh berries. We've got some of our best food vendors are here. It's really a good opportunity to try a whole bunch of different food, a little bit more relaxed environment than a Sunday.
I consider myself a purebred specialist. I know every and probably have eaten a lot of these breads and sweet treats. So I'd like to try something new today. What have you got?
Well, Pemberton Distillery is making malt whiskey, and so we've taken their mash after they've made the whiskey, and we've made bread out of it. It's fantastic, has a real sour taste, but with a sweetness too. It's really great.
I'll definitely take one of those.
Sundays, they're madness. It's incredible. It's so much fun. We're stretching all the way from the end of the chateau end all the way to the top of the stairs at the Black Omen Inn. On Sundays, you should probably budget between 2 to 4 hours if you want to enjoy the whole experience.
I've got my bread, so now I just need a little something to dip it in. What would be any trip to the Whistler Farmers Market without a stop here at Nana Pia's? Hello, and what have we got new this year?
Finally, we do have a new flavor we're going to launch next week. It's a lemon ginger reduction. It's spectacular. It's had rave reviews so far. It will be available at the next farmers market. So.
Do you think it'll go well with my whiskey sour bread here?
Spectacular. And if you got any cookies on sugar cookies, unbelievable.
Sugar cookies, sweet and savory.
It's important to eat local because A, it's better for you. The food is just that much closer and fresher. And it's also just better for the overall environment because there's less greenhouse gases emitted getting that food to you. It's better for your local economy. You're supporting people that are working within your region. There's a study out that says that for every dollar you spend eating locally, you're supporting up to 10 local economy jobs. So that's really, really critical.
So again, the Whistler Farmers Market is now open both Sunday and Wednesday. Wednesday nights from 3 to 8 p.m. here in the Upper Village. Stay tuned, we've got more local tips coming your way.
Still to come, getting a mountain experience off the ground and up close and personal.
And off on our left is the Chambliss Mountain Range, so we're good.
And the twists and turns of jet boating in Pemberton.
At a certain level, there's one move where I actually have to throw the boat on edge sideways to get it through 2 rocks, else we're hitting the bottom.
You're watching Shaw TV.
Welcome back to the Whistler Farmers Market on Wednesday nights. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald, and you're watching The Express. The Dance Lab. It's home to some of Canada's finest dancers. One dancer from the Lower Mainland is moving on to New York to study with the prestigious Joffrey Ballet this summer.
Front, down, plie.
Dance teacher Kirsten Showman is molding the next crop of Canadian dance stars.
8 and up, 2.
And it's all happening here at her Coquitlam Studio Dance Lab, which opened its doors only 2 years ago. In that time, Kirsten has created a program specifically designed for career-bound dancers.
We felt that there was a necessary niche for a half-day program in the Tri-Cities that trained extensively in ballet, jazz, and contemporary, and that's where we decided this program should be opened.
One half-day student already on the road to success is 16-year-old Port Moody teen Samantha Sadler. Just last month, Samantha became the BC Provincial Intermediate Dance Champion in modern dance.
This is my second year going to provincials, and last year I got runner-up. Coming into the competition season this year, that was my #1 goal, was to, first of all, get to provincials, and then hopefully work as hard as I can to be the provincial champion. So I've been working really hard all year, and it means so much because I've just dedicated so much time into it, and it paid off.
I'm always so impressed with the caliber of dancers at such a young age, and a lot of them come from the Tri-Cities. There's a lot of studios, there's a lot of dancers who are working really, really hard around here. We're lucky to be one of those studios with dancers who come and work hard and go out to competition and show really well and basically give everything they've got on that stage.
I'm Mona Mansour in Coquitlam for The Express.
A little closer to home, we're helping out Mother Nature by shopping local. Veggies, bread, balsamic reductions, you'll find it all here at the Whistler Farmers Market on Wednesday nights, where there's 20 vendors available. Next, let's step things up a notch with Afrobeat. It's a music based on self-expression and peace.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
Miami Device is a 10 to 12 piece Afrobeat juggernaut, and we started just as a 4-piece and grew into this.
In a basement big enough to accommodate a 10-piece band, the members of Miami Device are getting ready for their upcoming Jazz Festival performance. And people will be dancing to their brand of Afrobeat this coming Saturday at David Lamb Park.
I think people who come to these shows, especially David Lamb Park, I've seen a few live shows there, and people get out there and dance really hard with them.
The way to experience Afrobeat is live, so I think if you're open to new music and you come to a live show, it's kind of infectious.
Originating in Nigeria in the 1970s, it's a unique and, again, very large sound.
The guitars and the bass drums will kind of set up the groove, and the percussion instruments set up the groove that is pretty static, and then we have written horn lines, and then in between the horn lines we'll have lots of solos which are all improvised.
Just kind of like getting the collective energy from everyone. 10 people on stage is a big presence, and it's a lot of fun.
I'm Erin Shaw in Vancouver for Big Summer.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
Miami Device welcomes the public to a live jam every Wednesday night at the Library Square. Wednesdays are the place to be here in Whistler as well. Pickled beets and carrots are a sweet find, just like this next story.
After the break, flying in the mountains is always challenging, just the way this pint-sized pilot likes it.
I like the small stuff. I like to fly in and around the mountain peaks, not 30,000 feet above them. So it's a different perspective. It's a different type of flying.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to the Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. If you missed out on the weekend, Whistler Farmers Market junkies need not despair. They have a new night on Wednesday nights here in the Upper Village. The only thing Sea to Sky residents love more is their mountains. We hike, climb, and ski them. But Glacier Air takes this relationship to a whole new level, 7,000 feet up to be exact.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip is brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
Hi.
Our feet dictate how we see the world. More often than not, always looking up. The scope of monoliths, such as the Squamish Chief, are as grounded as the earth you stand on. But what about a new perspective, a new dimension?
We're used to working kind of more in 2 dimensions, and when we get into the air, we've got that 3rd dimension that we're dealing with. So, we're not only going left and right, we go left, right, up, and down. So it gets that bit of a different feel for you. Hi, Nicole, how are you?
Good, it's good to see you again.
It's great to see you.
Pilot Colette Morin signs me up with Glacier Air to view the coastal mountain range along the Sea to Sky corridor in the way Mother Nature's creator did, from the sky, with views as far as your imagination will take you.
Yep, let's go. So we offer our tour starting with a 25-minute Tambles Mountain Range. So if somebody really wants to see something, or they want to go, well, I don't want to go for an hour, I want to go for an hour and a half. Show me everything you can, and then we'll customize something and we love those. There we go.
There is nothing routine about flying these little Cessnas. as petite as her 5'0" frame. The only 747s in Colette's life come with a palm tree vacation. Growing up with parents who owned and operated a small plane, the bush pilot way of flying has always been the fuel behind her wings.
So it's a 4-passenger airplane. I like the small stuff. I like to fly in and around the mountain peaks, not 30,000 feet above them. So it's a different perspective, it's a different type of flying, and I just like to be closer to the terrain.
The mountains couldn't feel any closer. Passengers like myself are perched eye to eye with these mighty peaks at 7,000 feet.
Colors on this one are incredible. Yeah, well, this is Mount Currie. It's pretty spectacular with the really jagged peaks. And the colors that are coming out of it are from the iron and the granite and the rocks. It's very dramatic compared to the snow-covered hills around it.
Mount Currie's geothermal activity also wraps around the top of Ring Mountain.
There's a cinder cone where it's a volcano that the magma was pushed up and solidified. It didn't erupt and blow up everywhere.
Way off in the distance, you can see some of the runs from Blackcomb.
And then we circled the edge of the Pemberton ice fields. Up here, like a good friend, Glacier Air puts you on a first-name basis with every landscape you meet.
Yes, we do take artisans flying.
There's lots of inspiration up here.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of this area inspired Tony Only.
Tony Bianco was one of our country's most illustrious artists, whose contemporary art on Canada draws parallel to the impact of the Group of Seven.
He was a pilot, and he used to fly and he'd land on these glaciers, and he would get out his easel and he would paint pictures and stuff like that.
Thanks to rugged, yet giggling mountain pilots like Colette, you don't have to be a pilot or Ironman to access this multi-dimensional perspective.
We're able to make it accessible to anybody. We've taken passengers anywhere from infants all the way up to people well into their 90s. So we give you a view of it so everybody can enjoy it.
Cozying up with the mountains for a whole new perspective. In Squamish, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip has been brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
Colette is experienced in flying in all different types of weather. She's a volunteer pilot for search and rescue for Western BC. Fresh juice, purebred, veggies from North Arm Farm, you'll find it all on today's show, along with heli golf, geocaching, and jet boating.
Later on in the show, hang on tight for this whitewater adventure.
Summer is finally here, so get out and enjoy it. Maybe drop by the Whistler Farmers Market here in the Upper Village on a Wednesday night. Or maybe volunteer your time to take a dog for a stroll. It's that time in the show again. Let's check in with the Squamish SPCA and Wagon Whistler.
Welcome to Wagon Whistler. These are a few of the pets that we have up for adoption. This is Indigo. She's a little 6-week-old kitten that was found on the side of the road getting chased by a few dogs. So she ended up here because someone saved her. This is Mo. He's a really nice 1-year-old dog. He'd do great with a family. He loves kids. Hi, welcome to the Squamish SPCA. We're just going to show you some of the cats that we have up for adoption right now. This here is Jazzy. She's one of our older females that we have up for adoption. She's probably around 7 to 8 years old. Very vocal, very friendly girl. Doesn't like the other cats too much, but should be good in a home with children. This here is Slinky. He is a 5-year-old neutered male Siamese cross. He's a little shy, but he's very sweet once you get to know him. And he would be great with both cats and dogs, but probably not with younger children.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WAG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents.
The Resort Municipality of Whistler funds 28% of WAG's operation costs. Donations are always needed. Please give generously to your local animal shelters. Next, we've got 8,000-foot tall mountains, 340 horsepower of fun, and 1 man. Whistler jet boating adds up to a scenic and speedy time on the river.
I call it the study of the hydrology. Knowing what's going on, what's happening on the surface, tells me what's underneath on the base of the river.
After 20 years of running the Green River in Pemberton, spending 100 to 120 days a year getting to know every corner, the only thing stronger than the water's current is Eric Pejota's passion for jet boating.
Every trip is different. So the water levels change. At a certain level, there's one move where I actually have to throw the boat on edge sideways to get it through 2 rocks, else we're hitting bottom. It's like flying an airplane at low altitude through a tight canyon. There's just no room for air. So it really takes 110% of my concentration on every time I'm running up there. 4 buckles.
1 part merman, 1 part speed junkie. This rally car driver hosts 1-hour jet boat tours leaving the meadows at Pemberton Golf Course every summer. Eric first eases his guests into the tour with easy cruising Grade 1 waters.
We're actually going to head downriver for a couple kilometers to the confluence of the Lillooet and the Green River. Kind of neat. It's a very dramatic contrast in the colors of the 2 rivers. There's no dams or reservoirs on this system. It's what we call a free-flowing river. Okay, there's no dikes or roads or anything on this section, so we're going to be the only boat out here.
But not the only heartbeat.
The nest we're looking at up here on the top of the big Douglas fir tree, that's an osprey nest.
Birds, beavers, and bears are not an unusual sight here on the water.
There's been a big male bear just hanging out upriver. Yesterday we were sitting here, a nice river otter swam right across in front of us.
Add hunter and world-class mountaineer to Eric's never-ending portfolio, and from that comes tales about the changing landscapes flying by, like BC's highest vertical relief.
This is one of my favorite viewpoints of Mount Currie, which is the peak off to our left here.
In 1987, this ski legend made the first descent on this 8,000-foot tall summit.
It's been a big part of my life, this mountain. I've skied it over 20 times, and yeah, it's totally respect it. One of the top 50 classic ski descents in North America.
What was once ice and snow now feeds the Green River Canyon, where whitewater shifts this rip-roaring time into full speed at Nairn Falls Provincial Park.
And there might be a little humidity coming over the windscreen of the boat in the form of H2O, 40-degree clean Green River water. So I hope you're not afraid of a little cold water. Whistler jet boating, it's not like Disneyland here. There's definitely no strings attached.
You can see why they call this the Green River Thriller. You definitely want to hang on as you enter the last leg of this trip, leading up to the entranceway at Nairn Falls. It's the end of the line, so if you want to explore this 200-foot tall waterfalls, you got to do so on foot.
We run some pretty solid grade 3 plus whitewater, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really exciting.
Both for guests and their host. From Pemberton, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
Eric's boat is fitted with a convertible top, so tours happen rain or shine. Just like here at the Whistler Farmers Market, which has a new Wednesday night slot from 3 to 8 p.m. here in the Upper Village. Looking for other things to do? The Big Summer Spotlight has some ideas.
Gussy up your patio or revamp old furniture? Ask a designer at the Patina Home Interiors Summer Series. Whistler's Fresh Air Films screen under the stars every other Wednesday at Lost Lake Park. Enjoy a sunset barbecue, live music, popcorn, and a different independent film each showing.
Fresh Air Films at Lost Lake are one of my favorite things to do in the summer, along with visiting the Whistler Farmers Market, an absolute must on a Wednesday night. And remember, Sundays, you want to take your time to do a little strolling. There's more than 100 vendors available. And that wraps up this week's show. If you'd like to see your story idea on the Express, drop us a line at seatoskyexpress@shaw.ca. You can also get our show at shawtv.com. Join us next week. It's summer fashion with peak performance. So until then, from all of us on Shaw TV, thanks for watching.
Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe by Peak Performance, hairstyling by The Loft Salon, and makeup by Beauty Mart. POV camera courtesy of Contour. While filming on the mountain, parking provided by Fire Rock Lounge.